part of my system from 2002, since it's been inception. I joined the committee in 2004. I have done various roles in Flow and FICCI committee. And today I'm very proud to be taking over as chairperson. And we have Kamini, who's really set the bar so high. And we will definitely try to match it up.
We have no doubts in it.
We will definitely try to match it up. The vision for my year is infinite possibilities. The reason why we chose this is we felt that, the industry is changing in the last 10 years. A lot of new professions, a lot of new newsmakers have come into this industry. People usually think of the possible options, but there are people who have broken away from the possible and they have come up with another career option or another profession. And today they are trendsetters and trend makers. So we want our members, in whatever program we do for them, to think out of the box. We want them to go back and saying, is this also possible? Why didn't we think like that? Let's look at these options. All our speakers are targeted toward those. When and as we get them, you'll see why we've chosen these speakers. We are very proud to announce that we have Ms. Pinky Reddy as our national president, and we will be getting an interstate also back to the city. So that is one thing. We are doing retreats. Right now, this is all that I can share with you. I'm very proud to introduce my incoming VC and my incoming senior VC. Senior VC is Sona Chatwani and the VC is Smita Sharma. They'll be taking over after us. And that's the FICCI flo chair for you, incoming FICCI flo chair for you, Vinita Surana. I will just tell you the first quarter. Yeah, the first quarter, we have our first program on 9th of June, and that is by Mahatriya, which is the infinitism person, and he's with infinitism. He's somebody who guides you and teaches you about how to deal with your relationships in a different manner. Then we have the retreat that is happening in the month of July. And in the end of the July, we have something which is called It's All in Your Mind. And we have Ms. Anna Shandy doing that workshop for us. So that's something that we have lined up for the first quarter. We will also be doing some programs in this whole year which is specific industry based. So we will take up 4 industries and we will tell you what was the differentiators in this industries for the last 4 or 10 years that went, who were the trend makers, what did they think differently and how did they think differently. And everything around all our committees will work towards that. So we started in 2002, that is when the chapter was established, and we are now, she was the 16th chairperson, I'm the 17th chairperson. FICCI flo was established in the year 2006. We have 500 plus members. Most of our, yeah. So we'll say 600.
600.
Yeah, we'll say we are 600 members. Most of our members belong to professional backgrounds or people who are doing businesses or people who would like to take up this opportunity. We normally don't say that, it's not for housewives because we never know when they'll turn into that entrepreneur. And we are looking for something like that. So that is the kind of thing. Apart from our programs, we do a lot of initiatives like she told you. We are very, very passionate about our transport initiative. This will be the 4th year in running. And we have a lot of success stories with it. Last time we had 45 who were trained and we are looking at employment for them. We are taking up Swayam in a much, much bigger way because we really feel that is the thing that really helps people. And we also have a new initiative now called Smile, where we'll be doing small CSR activities which will bring smile to the underprivileged. So they are the impacts that we'd like to create, give back to our society.
Thanks for coming out and seeing us. I am very, very thankful to Ms. Kamini Saraf and Ms. Priyanka Ganeriwal. They have been my mentors throughout, and jumping on to the vision that FICCI flo has this year, we would like to bridge the gap for the young millennials from a life of what they are living to the life that they can live in their greatest dreams. So they can be good, serious professionals or young women achievers. They can be doing good right now in their life, but we would want to be that catalyst where we can push them from good to great. And all our speakers and our initiatives would be around this. One of the initiative that's very close to my heart is Go Green, Go Solar. So we are going to take a twist with this Go Green initiative and bring in solar energy and change the way that we are lighting up houses in Hyderabad and hopefully India. And also, when it comes to the entire blueprint of the year, we will be getting in speakers from various walks of life, from the trendiest billion-dollar companies, the head honchos of there, to women icons who personify work-life balance. Another initiative of mine would be to do smaller bonding events where we have our own stars from the FICCI flo team and the members, where we get to bond with each other and actually know our inner potential, and we can be that light and also spread to the members around us.
Women is in essence empowering a nation. Empowering women across all social strata is the spirit of V-Power. In the spirit of V-Power has been our theme and vision for this year. Our speaker events, panel discussions, workshops, awareness drive, skill development programs have all been a step in this direction. While we at FLO have been doing our bit, it is a matter of great pride that the Telangana government has also been at the forefront nationwide in its initiative towards women empowerment through its substantial measures on all fronts. And we thank the government for its continued support towards the women and our fraternity. So there's a lot of, at the national level, after Nirbhaya, we have the Asifa and the Unnao cases. And what is surprising that as per the latest ADR report released this week, we have 48 sitting MLAs and MPs who have been booked for crimes against women. But it is heartening to say that none of them are from our state. And there is a burning need for change, for flushing out crime and discrimination against women, and for providing a safe environment for our women to live with respect and dignity. Our nation that came together with its outrage for slogans of justice for Asifa recently must continue to stand unified to our mission to make our country a safe haven for our women. And we must continue to educate, equip, empower a girl child and women, giving them a voice, an identity, security and financial freedom. To show our solidarity for the case of dignity, respect and empowerment for our women, we at FICCI flo today are taking a solemn pledge. So after we finish the pledge, all of us will sign as chairpersons, the incoming and the outgoing team, and this will be our motto and a pledge for FLO for the years to come, and this will set a base for the work we do in future. And as I look back at my enriching and fulfilling term, I'm filled with a great sense of pride and deep gratitude, pride in my super efficient committee members who came together in the true spirit of V-Power, and I thank all of them for the unconditional support. It is their work which is giving me the allocates today and getting me all the appreciation from all of you. And I wish my incoming chair, Priyanka Ganeriwal, all the best. And as I hand over today, I have a sense of relief and of pride. I know when I hand over the baton, it's in very safe hands, and she'll do a great, great job and keep the FLO flag flying high. And I wish Vinita Surana, our incoming FICCI flo chair, also all the best. We've seen her meticulous spirit and her immaculate work, and I know you'll take FICCI flo great guns. And thank you again, dear members of the press and all our friends. As I bid adieu, let us keep alive the winds below our wings and live up the spirit of V-Power. Thank you, God bless, and Jai Hind. Over to Mrs. Priyanka Ganeriwal, the incoming FLO chairperson, for her welcome address. She'll be sharing her vision for the year now.
Let me first of all begin by congratulating Kamini and her team for this excellent work that she has showed in this period of her chairpersonship. This is indeed a very, very remarkable achievement. We have been in touch for most of the activities that she has initiated, including a very signature activity of setting up an entrepreneurs park exclusively for FLO members. Many of you would be aware that this was something which was planned almost 2 to 3 years ago, but it really took shape in the sense that entrepreneurs were identified, allotments were made, lots of land issues, pricing issues, other terms and conditions, they were all kind of settled in her tenure. So it's a very big milestone for FLO to have this independent industrial park for women entrepreneurs. And that it happened in Kamini's tenure is again a matter of great happiness and satisfaction. There are a couple of points which I would like to share with you. Kamini mentioned in her speech about the dedicated incubator that we have set up in Telangana, which is called the V Hub. Many of you would be aware that we had hosted the Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Hyderabad in November. Ms. Trump had come as a part of the US delegation, and the who's who of the entrepreneurs world, startup world were present on that occasion. So during the valedictory ceremony of that event, when our minister, Mr. K.T. Ramarao and Mr. Amitabh Kant, the CEO of Niti Aayog, they were in the valedictory session, and it was felt that all the momentum which has been generated due to the Global Entrepreneurship Summit happening for the first time in India, in Hyderabad, that momentum should be carried forward. And this was one of the ideas, that why don't we set up an incubator where we identify lots of otherwise talented women who would have just gone into oblivion had they not been given proper guidance and mentorship and support. And then our minister instantly volunteered that we will have it in Hyderabad to begin with, and of course other states are welcome to emulate it. And so on 8th of March, on International Women's Day, we launched this incubator in Hyderabad. And I'm very, very happy to share with you that the launch event itself created lots of buzz, and today we are flooded with applications. The VHub team is right now sorting through those applications to identify some very, very deserving women entrepreneurs who need to be given an opportunity to be a part of VHub. And obviously then we take their ideas and their concepts forward. So the important point which I'm trying to mention to you is that VHub will have constraints of space. It is a physical building where at the most we can, let us say, incubate maybe 100 startups or 125 startups or so. But eventually, when we saw the flow of applications which have come in, this facility will just not be sufficient. I mean, there'll be a huge amount of space which will be required. Then we have been thinking about it, that obviously there is a limit to the kind of space that we can provide. But can other ways of supporting these prospective entrepreneurs be thought about? While some of them get into the V-Hub, we are observing the same with T-Hub also. Many of you would be aware that despite being the country's largest incubator, T-Hub got filled up in a matter of weeks. And today also there are at least 1,000 applications which are on the wait list. And so in T-Hub, we have designed other ways of supporting people who can't physically get inside V-Hub. And this is what we are proposing for V-Hub applicants also, that those who get in obviously will have a great experience there, but those who fail to get in, not because they are less talented or they are less deserving, but because there's just no space to accommodate everyone. What else can be done? So we have thought about 3 programs, and I would like to propose them before the incoming the new team of FLO, so to say. And if you think that this is something which you would be willing to associate yourself, then we can take this conversation forward. So one possibility is that outside the VHub, in some other locations, and there's no dearth of suitable locations, we run tailored programs for them. They don't do the entire cycle of incubation, but let us say there are some women entrepreneurs or prospective entrepreneurs who are there with a very, very early stage idea. I mean, I can share an example with you. When we had launched the VHub program on 8th March in Radisson Hotel, I was there in the audience. I mean, I was there in the program, and someone from the audience met me after the formal ceremony got over, and she shared something which is very interesting, and I may take a couple of minutes to explain what transpired. Now, she told me that she's from a traditional family rather, and a few generations ago, in their kind of a family background or a social background, the only thing which would have happened to a girl was to have got her married off as early as possible. Maybe at the age of 15 or 17 or 18, the girl would have been married off. Because they are living in Hyderabad and they are familiar with, they are also seeing the modernizing influences around them. Now they are at least getting the girls educated. So the girls are going to colleges, they're getting professional education, etc. But very few of them are getting encouragement to get into mainstream professional activities. So this girl who met me has done some, I think she did some commerce course, maybe BCom or MCom one of these commerce courses, and she wanted to start her own business. So this is all she knew, that I don't want to work anywhere. Perhaps my family will also not encourage me to join a formal job and be in an office from 9 to 5. But if I tell to them that I want to set up a small business of my own, they may permit, because all her family members, her parents, her uncles, etc., they are all having multiple kinds of businesses. And then I asked her, what line of activity are you thinking about yourself? And she told me that some of my relatives, many of my uncles and others, they are into biscuits manufacturing, because as you know, Hyderabad is a big center for biscuits manufacturing. And she told me that I would also like to manufacture biscuits. And that is all it is. I mean, she has a desire to do something else, not just get married and close her life with that. She wants to get into biscuits manufacturing, but nothing else is, I mean, she's not familiar with anything else. So let us say there are 50 such women who have some vague kind of an idea that I want to do something, maybe this line is suitable for them. Now, how do you support them? So for such kind of women, can we run what is called a very early stage boot camp? We put them together, bring some experts, tell them about how does one go about starting a business, what kind of baseline studies are required, what kind of market surveys are required, who is there to guide you. Eventually, when you develop an idea further, what kind of machinery is required, what kind of production facilities is required, where is the funding available. So give them a complete head start in how to get into a business. So can we run a program for such very, very early basic kind of entrepreneurs who have some interest in doing something, but they don't know anything beyond that. So a boot camp kind of a model where we run at least every month or once every 2 months, these kind of programs. The second opportunity is that there are some women, again, we noticed that there are a large number of women who have a good sense of what they want to do. Some of them are engineering students. As a part of their studies, they develop some projects. As you know, every student is required to do some project in their 3rd year and 4th year. So they did some project. There is some familiarity with which direction they want to take. But either their technology is not very refined or very efficient, or their go-to-market strategy is not very well developed. So a second category of people who are much beyond the idea stage, they are ready to kind of test their concept, prototype their concepts, develop their concepts, test the markets, and so on and so forth. So slightly mature level of entrepreneurs, what kind of support do you provide? So obviously these kind of people require very personalized kind of mentoring. Bringing 50 of them together in a room and running some seminar may not work with them. But for each of them, so can all your senior members take the responsibility of mentoring them, depending upon what background or what line of activity they want to get into. The third kind of entrepreneurs are those who are already in the market. They already have some product, they are in the business, they are running some enterprise. But obviously the scale that will give them better results or better returns is missing. So how do you support people who want to scale up is the third set of people. For whom we have other kinds of programs. They require better access to capital, better kind of support in finishing their products, and so on and so forth. So for different kinds of women entrepreneurs who are not physically able to access VHub, can we design programs together with the government and FLO, and we ensure that everyone who applies to VHub for some kind of assistance, no one is turned back. Everyone is fitted in some program or the other, and we, of course, take that forward. So these are some suggestions from my side, because VHub has just started, and obviously it is in our country's interest that an institution like the VHub succeeds. Niti Aayog, as I said, is very keen to see what happens to Hyderabad VHub. Does it become a national role model like T-Hub has become today? So a lot of responsibility is upon us. But as I said, we in government always believe in working with partners through partnerships, and we value the enormous amount of talent and experience and a broad goodwill that an organization like FLO brings, and the fact that we have national president from Hyderabad, Pinky Garu, who is completely familiar with the Hyderabad ecosystem of entrepreneurship, particularly women entrepreneurship. So with the national support of FICCI flo, if some exemplary work happens in Hyderabad, we will all feel very proud of taking these decisions today. I would also urge upon the new body of FICCI Flow, just as the previous committee thought about this industrial park for women entrepreneurs, you should also think of a signature activity which you would like to pursue throughout. And typically on all these occasions, I mean, this, in fact, I just recollected that this is not the first time I'm coming for a changeover. I think 3-4 years ago also, I was involved. I don't recall who took over from whom, but I remember I was involved in that ceremony. And on all those occasions, I always mention that when I interact with all of you, I feel that there is tremendous amount of scope of performing and giving more and more and more. So in a way, there is a sense of underperformance. I mean, collectively, you can do much, much more than what you are doing now. But I'm very sure that now that Pinky Garu is at the helm of the affairs, I'm sure she will push you into getting into new areas and doing new things. So once again, my congratulations to Kamini and her team. So he has not been able to come back from there by now, but he has also been very, very positive about the activities of the Flow were given for the Flow Industrial Park. Most of the points, but he straight away said that they have to be given this, they have to be given that. So he has conveyed his regards, and at some member should go and call on him and seek guidance from him on what else can be done together. And once again, I also would like to congratulate all the awardees. I mean, I know most of you, and I'm very, very glad that the team, the jury has selected the most suitable candidates, the real role models of our society. So again.
In the car, and I was just thinking, what do I speak? And I was just putting down some points. I was had a mixed feelings. I said, I can't believe I'm actually going as a national president. 10 years ago, when I was the chairperson of Hyderabad, I remember the national president came from Delhi, and we thought it was like, wow, the national president has come from my function. I felt so excited. But for me now, I feel for y'all, I'm like the Ghar Ki Murgi, the Hyderabad style. So when Kamini said you have to come, and she's been such an amazing chairperson and so loving, so I said I could not say no. Had to jump onto many flights to get here. So it's really, I feel really privileged to be the 35th president of FLO and the first person from Andhra, Telangana. So I think we should clap for ourselves. And FLO being the oldest women business organization of Southeast Asia with 6,000 members as of day before, but now it's 6,130 members because we opened the Amritsar chapter yesterday. Yesterday at this time we were opening our Amritsar chapter, and just organically we had 130 members who just joined, and they're all really like professionals and businesswomen. They had only one negative issue. They all look like models. So people didn't take them seriously. They thought this is like one la-di-da party, but actually they were all really solid women. So it's fantastic. And yes, yesterday the chapter was launched by the First Lady of Amritsar, Maharani Praneeth Kaur, Farah Khan and Deepa Sahi. It was really wonderful to have the First Lady. She was so inspirational, so everybody enjoyed listening to her. FLO has been promoting entrepreneurship and professional excellence among women through workshops, seminars, conferences, training and capacity building programs. The objective of the organization is to encourage and facilitate women to showcase their talents, skills, experiences and energies across sectors and verticals of the economy. Advancing women's rights, building women's leaderships and investing in movement building are the key levers of change. Every initiative, every project that FLO has undertaken since its existence has been driven by the goal of creating a more just and sustainable environment for women. Towards this objective, FLO works with 3 levels. I'd like to let you know the 3 levels. The grassroots, the entrepreneurship and skill development programs to make women more employable and absorbable in markets. Then we have middle to help women set up their own business, and senior to promote more women in leadership and board positions. Here I may mention a few significant initiatives taken up by FLO pan-India level. I'm not going to get into the details, but I'm just giving you all a run because a lot of you are new to Flow. I'd like you to hear what all we've been doing. We have the Gender Parity Index, the Women Industrial Park, which we are very proud of here. Swayam, it's the Business Consultancy Cell. FWD, it's a Flow Women Directors, which we encourage to include. The Flow Skilling Initiatives, the Flow Advocacy and Legal Cell, the Health Initiative, Nurturing the Nurturer. So we're doing a lot to do with health also. I'd like to now come to for today's event. My heartiest congratulations to the Flow and Young Flow Hyderabad for continuously creating a legacy since its launch by bringing together eminent personalities under one platform and giving us an opportunity to be inspired by them. I must acknowledge that Hyderabad chapter is one of the oldest and the most dynamic and vibrant chapters among the 15 in Pan-India. The chapter stands tall with strength of over 600 members. Just imagine 600 members from our city, including FICCI Hyderabad, has been doing commendable job in the area of promoting entrepreneurship, development, and professional excellence among women. The energy and focus of the chapter is reflected in the way they plan all the events in sync with the objectives of the organization. Heartiest congratulations to Kamini and her team for taking the chapter to newer heights. I would also like to appreciate Sandhya Raju as a Young Flow chairperson. We always like to have young blood in every organization. I now welcome Priyanka Ganeriwal as a new chairperson of 2018 and 19, and Vinita Surana. I'm so happy to see Vinita here. I've known her from the time she was a little child. So she's really achieved a lot, so I'm sure she'll do a great job. I wish them all the best, and I know they're very dynamic and enthusiastic young ladies with a super enthusiastic team, and they'll really they'll achieve the goals what they want. I wish you all the best. Friends, 21st century is the century for change. The change has seen women across the world placed at a position of advantage. They are literally on the move. They are paying ahead to the inner voice. They are paying heed to their inner voice, They are finding their individual and collective voice. They are aligned with their conscience, moving ahead with purpose, and they're really going to achieve. I have the trust in them. Women today need not to look anywhere for a perfect role model. They need to just listen to themselves, in their intuition, to take right action at the right time. All they need right now is to set the right intention, and all the intentions will bear fruit sooner than later. Such is the power of the new age. Flow is the collective journey of all such women. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for being a part of our journey as a member or a well-wisher, looking forward as a continued support. Finally, I'd like to end with a quote by Henry Ford. Coming together is a beginning. To keep together is progress. Working together is success. And I'm sure we will all succeed in whatever we do. And I'd like to congratulate the new team. All the very best. Thank you so much.